Bantamweight recap that's happened over the weekend, June 4th, 2022. There's a lot of news, But given that Stephen Fulton and Inoue have won over the weekend, and damn, I gotta say, Fulton embarrassed my boy pretty bad. Like, it's not like I knew he wasn't gonna win, but for those who do turn into this channel for the first time, thank you for your time and support. Thank you. This is the Double RT Boxing Show. I'm ready, you're ready. We're talking boxing. And for those who are slowly returning to my slowly returning putting videos up, you might remember fucking Daniel Roman is the reason I bought the Zone. You know, I like him. I like his style. You know, he's not the most tools in the toolbox, but he works hard. But I was at least hoping, as a Daniel Roman fan, to make it somewhat competitive. Fulton just made that easy work. You know, as we all probably knew he would. Not really much to talk about that fight. You know, footwork was on point, punch selection. The commentator kept saying how Figueroa made Fulton do that. I think Fulton wanted to beat him at his own game, kind of like Spence said he's going to beat Porter at his own game. And he's all right. I did that shit. I'm just going to box the shit out of slow-footed Daniel Roman. And that's what he did. Now, as far as Inoue knocking out Nonito, he just kind of just like, he took it as 13. Like, it ain't no more respect for you as a fellow Asian icon. You know, it just came out throwing bombs and connected that quick ass right hand. You know, that's all it really was. Just no respect in that fight. You know, Nonito came out trying to bully him, like, hey, I know I hurt you last fight. And Inue's like, fuck you. Basically, just fuck you. He came into this ring with a fuck you attitude. The last fight, he came in with a nice kind of respecting the legend. Knocked his ass out this fight. And over the weekend, also on the Devin Haney card was Jason Maloney. You know, he's number 3 by the WBO. You know, as he's taking that John Butler route, just in case for some odd reason, you know, Inoue kind of made it known, like, hey, dude, if this fight don't happen by the end of the year, I'm moving the fuck up, you know. So what if Butler's like, hey, you know what? I would love to fight Inoue, but hey, if I have a better chance at becoming undisputed, I fight Jason Maloney, or I fight somebody. You know, Jason Maloney looked good against number 14. If what was his name, Ashton Palazzi, whatever, if he had just fought behind a jab better, man, because he seemed like he was hurting Maloney pretty good. And then you have, you know, I'm kind of trying to mix these two weight classes together, you know, for the fact that Inoue, the Bantamweight champion, is talking about, if this fight don't happen by the end of the year, undisputed with Butler, I'm going to move up. I go to Fulton shit. I go to Super Bantamweight, because you got MJ taking on Ronnie Rios, what, the 25th of June? I'll be surprised if Ronnie Rios can keep MJ still enough to unleash some punches on him. I just don't see that happening. You know, do I think he has the power to hurt MJ? I do. You know, but MJ's last fight, because this fight was already supposed to be happening on the Boo Boo undercard, which Quigley. Rios got COVID, in came that late replacement, that little Chilean, I believe he was. Jose just took a little beating, throwing bombs. That was supposed to be Rios. So do I think Rios is gonna win? Even in tough times, I think MJ's feet should be able to get him out of there. Interesting to see if Ronnie Rios could keep him planted enough for his famous body attack, and what will that do to MJ in the late rounds. Like I said, even in the tough moments, I got MJ's feet, miraculously saving him in a 7-5 fight, if worse. So I'm going with MJ. So that is the bantamweight with Fulton winning. I got MJ winning in the future in a few weeks in this month. And then you got Maloney winning in the bantamweights, going with the Butler route. Inoue. Now, before we go, now, if you're, like I said, these are what if fights. I mean, like, what if situations. Butler could just like, hey, I'm going to hold out. I don't want to give Inoue the undisputed fight because I want to take it for myself, maybe against easier competition, perhaps. He sees it. Better chance for him to come undisputed. I'm going to hold out. I fight Charlie Edwards. I fight Lee McGregor. Israel Gonzalez. You know, Kahita Kahura. Just take an easy fight. Kind of just hold off. Hey, you know. But considering he was given this belt, will the WBO allow him a voluntary, or will they make him fight the mandatory? Because they got Rios as number 1, where they kind of slide it over to Rashid Warren number 2. Interesting though. Now, given that, Butler, what if he holds out? What do you do if you're MJ? You beat Ronnie Rios. Do you go immediately into the Stephen Fulton fight? Because that's going to take a while. That's the Zone and PBC network side of shit. Do you go and hold off? Hey, Inoue's going to come up. Do you, as MJ, hold off for the MJ fight? I mean, if you're in MJ, do you hold off for that Inoue? Like, hey, you want to come up? Come up for my 2 belts first. I beat your little ass. You're good, but you're little. So, does MJ hold off for that? You know? Because Fulton's ready to go wherever. If Inoue wants to come up, I'll fight you. If, you know, he wants to fight MJ first. But if Inoue wants to come up, he'll do it. But if you're MJ, do you hold off and get those double paydays? Because even if MJ loses, I think that's a bigger payday than fighting Fulton. Now, if you're MJ, do you take the chance of getting both those paydays? Go to Japan, upset Inoue, and then come to this wherever you got to fight Fulton for undisputed. The Double RT Boxing Show. I was ready. You're ready.